What's going on, everybody? It's Frito again for Your Overwatch, here to break down how to increase your Widowmaker scoped accuracy and get those headshots. First, we probably want to talk about why it's important to care about your scoped accuracy. Obviously, a lot of statistics can be manipulated and inflated and sometimes don't mean everything that you think they might mean, like kill-death ratio or other statistics like that. But scoped accuracy will help you find out if you're being efficient with your Widowmaker play. Obviously, you can inflate it by shooting at Reinhardt shields all day, but really, if you know you have been playing in the mix of things and going for damage for your team and playing confrontationally, if you're doing that and getting about 50-60% scoped accuracy, you know you're probably playing pretty well. Critical hit accuracy is good as well, but the reason why I would focus on scoped accuracy is because you just want to get damage on target in this game. Mostly because if you charge up enough, you're going to do a big chunk of damage, and every hit you make will help build your ultimate, which ultimately will make you the biggest impact that you can be for your team. And once you start to master Widowmaker, then you can know when to go for those headshots, and once you get more comfortable in doing that. It's far worse to go for a headshot and miss rather than let your scope charge up to deal more damage and at least land that shot. So that's why I would advise for new players trying to get a handle on Widowmaker, worry about that scoped accuracy first, and then when you can do head hunting, go for that play and challenge yourself beyond that. The next thing you're going to want to worry about is finding your correct sensitivity. As someone accuses me of having an aimbot for hitting way too many shots, that's what this guide will give you, ladies and gentlemen. Accusations after you play so sick. So find a comfortable sensitivity. I could make a whole nother video on sensitivity. Personally, I have an incredibly low one. I have a massive mouse pad, play on 1 or 2 sensitivity on this game in particular. So find something that's comfortable for you, something that I feel that you should be aiming slow enough that you don't over-aim beyond the target you're trying to aim at, because most of the shots you should be taking with good Widowmaker play will be set up, where you'll be taking a look down a long line of sight and you want to make subtle adjustments. Big pro players like Reaver might be able to do some sick flick shots, but I actually don't think it's that necessary in this game with the way that there's tanks in the front and you're more of a backline character all the time. Shouldn't have to worry about that until you get into much more advanced levels of play. Once you have your sensitivity down, then you want to think about how you're aiming. And what I mean by that is you want to track carefully the movement of the target you're looking at and keep your crosshair placed on splitting the difference of where they can go. So when you're setting up to charge a shot, like I start to take on Zenyatta and Widowmaker here, I see him strafing to the left, and my crosshair is always in a place where I'm ready to flick to the character I want to shoot at. So think of it this way, though you may think a character like Tracer counters Widowmaker, she only does if you can't hit her. So if you can get used to the distance that a Tracer can do her blink, and be ready for waiting for her to blink to that spot, you can prepare yourself to hit that shot. So the way to condense this all into a single sentence is have smart crosshair placement and split the difference between where the character is and where he can go. If it's a character that can blink or kind of jump or all of a sudden move fast, then you can prepare yourself for that shot. And my advice is always take a shot as soon as you have it. You may think it's best to wait fully for your scope to charge up, but as I said before, it's better to just get damage on target more efficiently, because you don't know if you're going to get that shot again. For all you know, a character might come and shield that player, or a Reinhardt might walk right in front of you. You might as well take the shots as they come to you. So be patient, wait for it to arise, and then hit it as soon as you have the opportunity. The last major point I want to make is positioning. This is very important to increasing your effectiveness and, of course, scoped accuracy, because you want to put yourself in a spot where you're comfortable hitting the shots you're going for. Now, me personally, I am, I think, pretty crazy with Widowmaker right now, and I'm very comfortable playing her in every single position, except if it's like close range against the McCree, because I'm so confident in my shot that I know if I go head-to-head against something, I can go for a headshot and potentially win. Now, obviously, like May or McCree is going to neutralize me at close range, and you want to run away from that. But otherwise, know the characters you're going up against and be confident in your aim when you do it, because you start challenging every position on the map, then you're really going to take over the game. And I think being a Widowmaker player, you're going to want to try to edge yourself into that playstyle where you take just about every duel that comes to you, because if you try to play like it's Battlefield 4 and you play really far back all the time, you're not really going to develop that killer instinct ability to overpower the enemy team. And Widowmaker has that potential, and there's very few characters in Overwatch that even have the DPS ability to take over a game that way. So if you want to be Widowmaker, you have to almost cosplay Widowmaker. You have to wear the leotard and have your cleavage showing and be ready to rock and roll, because she's the character that can really take over and demolish the enemy team and make them have to adjust to her. Also, you'll see me in this gameplay a lot of times use my shift ability to get up on top of places or to quickly try to escape. Always keep that in mind, and you want to learn the different places on the map and where her hook auto selects to, because it doesn't go where you're pointing necessarily. It'll go to the ledge that's near what you're pointing at. There's a little bit of auto aim to that you want to get used to. And be mindful of where the cooldown sits. It's pretty long. I think it's like 12 seconds. So once it's ready, be prepared to put yourself in an aggressive spot, and as soon as it starts to get a little too much for you, you can always hook shot out of it. And on these last bits of gameplay on control, normally, especially on the pro side of things, you won't see Widowmakers play on these small control maps because it's pretty easy to flush them out. But on public match servers, I'm still having great success in taking Widow at any range, because she's the type of character that will exploit a team that doesn't work together. If players start to trickle out towards you one by one, the ants go marching one by one, you just take them out easy, because they have to coordinate in order to put their Reinhardts in front, or put a Winston shield down and have him jump at you, or tracers hunt you down. If those things aren't happening effectively, Widowmaker can play excellent on every single map. It really requires the other team to deal with her, otherwise she will just take things over. And in the same sense that you want to use your hook shot to get away when you feel things are getting too chaotic for you, you can also use it to press your advantage, because man advantage matters so much in Overwatch. As soon as you know that you're winning the engagement and you have one or two more players than they do, you can use your hook shot to get an aggressive position or to flank at a weird off angle. Try to keep in mind the weird positions that you could take to flank the opposition. Because your rifle is so powerful, on just about any character that isn't ready for you, you can take them out with a careful headshot. So use your hook shot to get into those aggressive positions and be patient enough to go for the headshots when you're flanking, because as soon as you get that entry pick, the team fight is vastly in your favor, because you have a whole extra man that they don't, and you'll help your team snowball in team engagements. So those are my main tips. On these last few clips, I'm going to commentate my decision making and how you can try to replicate it into your own game, because again, this has been playing control and you would think it doesn't work that well to use Widow on these maps, though I did hear that the pros use Widow on Ilios in particular, because there's so many rooftops and things to exploit. But I'll constantly be away from the control points, away from the main objective, because where you want to concentrate your positioning is areas where you can be far away but still see traffic. Widow's power is her ability to do far range damage, obviously, but also her hookshot allows her to get in weird positionings and be able to run away. So if you're a constant off angle attack from the main position of your team, it's going to have the maximum effect and always make the enemy team respect you. Now, you might be afraid to enter a close-range engagement like this, and you probably should be as Widowmaker with a Zenyatta ulting right in front of me, but I'm so cocky with my aim, as soon as a character's out of position, I go for the headshots, and I'm able to get 2 kills in a situation where you probably shouldn't even be fighting. Once you develop your Widowmaker aim to that level of confidence, you'll really strike fear into your opposition. Now, this clip, I clear out the Zenyatta, push up onto the point at close range, and I almost headshot this soldier who's capping the point in the corner. Because I know I have so many teammates here, I'm not afraid to help out on the objective, but as soon as they start to take the objective, I go outside to zone, and because of that, the Pharah has to deal with me, meanwhile giving my teammates space to play on the objectives. And I was still even able to kill the Pharah, even though she hit me twice, with some of that careful aim that I was talking about. Again, I go to challenge the point because no one else on my team can. Pick up smart crosshair placement for where the soldier's going to come in. And then as I see them push them with man advantage, I'm just constantly backing off and looking to take what the enemy team gives me. Thank you, Pharah. Going to lay out there on a silver platter up there in the air for me to pick your head off. That's what Widowmaker's all about. As you play her and learn to master her, try to bite off what you can chew. And then once you're comfortable doing that, go for more audacious plays. Because as you see what the extent of your ability is and start to build your confidence, you can play her from any position and be comfortable dominating the enemy team. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to subscribe, thumbs it up, share with your friends, and I'll talk to you later.